You know what Diablo 4 desperately needs?
Tell me, man.
I mean, listen, on endgame, it's pretty hard to find people to do content with.
Oh.
And I know you have the possibility to invite the party, but you have to be really close to that other player to use the emote system. And listen, we need a group finder. We need a party finder. Anything that would make people either create groups for specific activities so people can apply to, or something like that. It's just a shame it's not in there because it's an online game. I mean,
I don't know if they intentionally left it out or if they didn't really think about it, because it is part of an MMO. And to be fair, with all the incentives that we have to actually have group play, with all the XP increases, the loot and all of that stuff, you would think that this would be a natural progression to the system. Maybe they just didn't want to seem it a little bit too MMO-y, because I could see how that is the case.
Apparently, we have some sort of like confirmation from the devs that this is something that will be coming soon. So there was this little bit of a thread on Twitter. It started there, and we had a couple of replies from Adam Fletcher. The first one being from BD Pulse. He said Diablo 4 desperately needs a group finder or a party finder. It was one of the main components in the past which made Diablo so fun. This is debatable. There are dozens of posts on Reddit with thousands of users that agree with this. Is this something you've been hearing? Now, to be fair, when Adam Fletcher did reply, and this is true, they did mention that this was addressed in the last campfire chat. I mean, in the sense that they are aware of it, and they said that more of quality of life. This is a more of a quality of life feature for the future as we continue evolving and updating the game. So it's definitely on their radar. However, there was another tweet on the same thread. I think that was from Chris Twatter. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, buddy. So he said, with the first big patch out of the way and Season 1 starting soon, when can we expect another dev update or campfire chat? Next one needs more campfire. So they need to do it in nature. They need some wood burning. And Adam Fletcher replied, more news on that later this week. So, with the two replies from Adam Fletcher, who's basically the big lead of the communications team on Diablo and stuff, he basically, one, said that they are aware of this and that people are talking about it and want it, and two, there is going to be another big developer live stream, either campfire chat or, you know, the freestyle mode that they did the last time. And we're kind of like speculating that something along the lines of party finder, group finder would be announced there, or at least hinted at with a possible, I don't know, big patch like the balance one we just had being placed over there.
Would be interesting if they add it before the Season 1 starts. I think the more we look at all of the tunings and all the updates that they do, it makes it feel like they're trying to lay some groundwork for the Season 1 to be as impactful as possible, to obviously have a good experience. There's also the talk, which is somewhere where I have a little bit of a conflicted opinion upon how much do we want to make Diablo an MMO. There are good parts of it, and I think the balance of it is kind of okay so far, but do people really want more? Because you asked for group finder, but where do you draw the line? Like, how MMO-y are we going to make Diablo?
Well, this is the thing. I don't think they ever went off the record and say, okay, we want to make Diablo a true MMO experience. I think they always mentioned that they want to like combine positive MMO elements with Diablo. And their purpose was to make this huge world where, you know, you have a lot of like terrain to cover and discover, which is nice, you know, exploring, because the world in Diablo is pretty awesome. In terms of like the MMO elements that make or break an MMO, they're not that really there. I mean, it's not like you look at World of Warcraft, for example, random example,
out of the blue.
And see direct comparisons. Sure, you have a little bit of like crafting, but it's nowhere near in the depths of an actual MMO. Sure, you have your loot progression, you have your world bosses or whatever, but you don't have raids, you don't have guilds, you have clans. But clans are even that one is a subject to be talked about.
Clans are not necessarily MMO. They've been in Diablo for quite a while.
But it's like it's like a organized group thingy where, you know, similar to a guild.
Well, that's what I mean, right? There are a couple of things that are made really well in terms of, you know, expanding the experience to more, let's say, a social aspect, to make it maybe less single playery and more, you know, I'm playing this game with friends. Because I feel like, and that could be again my experience as well, I did have probably some of the most amount of fun in Diablo 2, Diablo 3, even Diablo 4 when we were in a group. It's kind of a cool debate. I don't want to be like in a 20-man thing. I don't think that's ever gonna be a thing. However, when you take the the MMO aspects of it that have been introduced, like the world boss is usually the first one that comes to my mind. I think that's one of the best things that they did for Diablo 4, and it's a cool thing. And see how this plays out.
The thing is, man, this is the reality. Whenever you get past level 50 and 60 and 70, the truth is, like, if you don't have friends online and somebody to actually play with that it gets pretty tedious, pretty boring, pretty fast, because it's like the same old content you have to grind over and over and over. Sure, some people just get enjoyment out of that, but I think for the biggest majority of the players, like if you look on Reddit right now, the most upvoted topic on this matter is like, close to 2K upvotes, and everybody's just like chiming in with comments, wishing for this to happen. Yeah. It is a thing in Diablo Immortal. As much as we don't play and we don't like it, Diablo Immortal, they do have a party finder over there where people can create different types of groups for different dungeons or whatever, and other folks can apply. I think a group finder or party finder for Diablo 4 would just make it so that at least people from the same level range could do content together. And not only that, but the benefits of it, man. When you're in a party, you get more experience, right? You have like different variations of builds and classes that can take. For example, like I always have this in my mind, like with a group finder, you can find like somebody who plays like range. You find a sorcerer, and you find a rogue and a barbarian or whatever, but you have a range and a melee in the same group. Now, when you encounter that event where you have to like go with the spirit and protect him while he's in the little circle.
Everybody's favorite event.
Yeah, when you're in a melee in that, it's pretty hard to like get to kill all of the ranged mobs, right? But if you have another player in the group at least, you can easily deal with that and actually get the bonus from the event. So this is what I'm saying. This is just one example. Not to mention the Hell Tides, the Nightmare Dungeons, the World Tier 4 normal dungeons like you probably want to get if you're level 60 something or something like that. It just makes it a lot more smoother and easier, and because they want it to be an online game, this feature has to be put in, man.
Yeah, it makes more sense because it connects you to people, and as with seeing players out in the open world whenever you're doing events, this does feature into the world is a little bit more alive. There's a lot more people playing the game, and there could be at least a lot of cool stuff that they could do if they open up this style of let's say engagement with your friends. It can start with looking for a group type system. And it can devolve into a way of designing Nightmare Dungeons that can take benefit or take advantage of people playing different things, or actually having multiple people in and making more interesting events. Like the one that you just gave an example was really good, right? If you have a barbarian, a druid, maybe you can do something that takes advantage of them being really good at fortifying and being a little bit tankier. Yep. Or you can have this style of stuff. Probably we're never gonna have, the trifecta, the tank, healer, DPS groups.
Not in a Diablo game,
but likely, I don't know how they will implement it. You did mention level range, because I mean,
yeah, that's the thing. You can you can have a group made up out of like people who are from like between 60 and 70. There you go. You have the 10 level eye range, and over there like a 61 with a 69 player could easily be in groups and do stuff together, right? Because obviously you have different purposes in the game when you're 80 plus, right? You want to do some bigger Nightmare Dungeons, which a level 62 player might find it really hard to do, right? Because even with the scaling, there's still like higher item level bosses, higher level bosses, not item level, in there. But all in all, I feel like this is a feature that will be coming soon. Sure. I see more and more requests for this all over the place, be it Reddit, be it Twitter, be it the forums for Diablo 4. It's all over the place. And the fact that Adam Fletcher also replied to this, and he basically said that we will have more news on the topic later in the week. Well, basically on the new developer live stream, but I'm guessing
probably
that's the place.
Some news,
because this type of feature is not a feature that they will announce through Twitter. Okay, this is something a little bit more bigger, a little bit more major, so they could announce it somewhere within a I don't know, more grandiose event.
My initial thought about this was they were going to announce it whenever they're going to add leaderboards, because we know that we had leaderboards in Diablo 3 when it came to pushing Greater Rift. and you had solo leaderboards, and you had party leaderboards.
Oh man, but leaderboards are gonna be like next
Yeah,
year.
that's when I initially thought they're gonna be. Maybe they're gonna push it a little bit or take it a little bit.
I want
quicker.
it faster, man. I want it quicker.
Yeah, because I mean, it makes sense. It was a feature that was gonna be inevitably brought into the game. There was no way that they were not gonna put the LFG, but maybe with all of the pushback from the community, they're probably gonna bring it a little bit quicker, or at least we're gonna know soon exactly what their thoughts on it.
Yeah, but they acknowledge this is quality of life. Okay,
Yeah.
this is something that will make players' life and experience in the game easier. So, what do you think? Do you believe this will be coming soon? Maybe with the start of season 1, with the like pre-patch, the season 1 pre-patch, or maybe this is something that doesn't really interest you? Do you think this will break the immersion or whatever?
Let us know down in the comment section below what your opinions are, and we can have a little spicy chat.
Yeah, don't forget to click that subscribe and hit that notification so you don't miss any video from Diablo Forever. We're covering everything, all the news, all the information that pops out. We're on it, baby. Plus class guides, you know they're coming. Season 1, baby. Let's go.
Diablo.
Thanks for watching. Bye.